My name's Will Middleton from WPCourseGuide.com, and in this video, we're going to take a look at the problem that some LifterLMS Advanced Videos users run into. If you're using the LifterLMS Advanced Videos product alongside Elementor, this is a common challenge. So the problem is, how can I have no video controls the first time my student watches the video, but then allow them to have full controls after they complete the video the first time? Right? So you want to make sure the student completes the video, but you also want to allow them to be able to go back and then review the video without having to sit through the whole thing again. And in this video, we'll take a look at that. And we're going to be using tangible lifter elements. So that's the LifterLMS Elementor integration. The same thing could be done with WP Fusion and displaying blocks or Elementor elements based on tag, but we're not going to cover that in this video. In this one, we're going to talk about tangible lifter elements and creator edition specifically. The reason we need the creator edition of lifter elements here is because of this conditional logic panel. The conditional logic is what's going to allow us to say, before they complete the lesson, show this block, and after they complete the lesson, show this block. And if we take a look, this is the setup we're going to create. We're going to use the featured video with restrictions using the tangible lifter elements featured video block from the lesson, and then we're going to just embed our YouTube, Vimeo, or Wistia video as the block that you'll see once you complete the lesson. This will make a little bit more sense once we dive into it. So let's dive into WordPress and see this in action. So the first thing I want to do is go to LifterLMS settings courses, and I want to make sure require video completion is enabled, so that way when I view my lesson, it's going to require video completion. And I think I'm in the WordPress editor right now, so I need a complete lesson button in order to be able to see this. There we go. So now I can see I need to complete the video before clicking that Mark Complete button. So what I want to do now is edit the lesson in Elementor. And in this tutorial, I'm just going to do it right on the lesson. If you've seen my other tutorials and you're a template master, the same setup is going to apply if you're using a template to apply to all of your lessons, or if you're just editing a lesson individually, we're going to be using the same setup. And so for those of you who don't know what a template is in Elementor, there's an option, instead of just editing pages one by one, you can have a template that applies to all of your pages, or lessons in this case, and it controls the styling for all lessons if you wanted to be able to edit all of your designs in one place, or you could just launch the Elementor builder on lessons individually, like I am here. So what I want to add in is the lesson video block. So the lesson video block is going to take whatever field I have in my featured video field, right here, video embed URL, and I'm going to display that right on my lesson, right here. And immediately we see a conflict. I'm going to go on a little sidetrack real quick, a little tangent, and fix this little bug we're seeing. This is a bug you might see in LifterLMS and Elementor if you're working with those two tools, and that's the duplicate content. And what's going on here is we have the old LifterLMS PHP template trying to put the featured video on the lesson, but we're also trying to put the video in the content area. So that's why we have two videos. And we do want two videos in this setup, but not exactly like this. So let me go to LifterLMS Labs on the back end of WordPress, turn on the Action Manager, make sure this video embed option is checked, and then save, and that'll go away. If you're using LifterLMS and Elementor, this free LifterLMS Labs plugin is going to be your best friend for helping you manage the conflict between LifterLMS wanting to use the WordPress editor, but we're using Elementor. So check out the LifterLMS Labs plugin in order to deal with some of those underlying conflicts you might see regarding the duplicate content. So let's get back on track. Now that I have this video here, what we have is our featured video or lesson video displayed via my Elementor block. And what I want to do is make another block. Instead of the lesson video, I'm going to just have a general video, the regular Elementor video block. And we can see here, I'm going to go with Vimeo as my source and dynamic tags. For this video, I want to show the lesson video. There we go, we got 2 videos. So this, you may think like, wait a second, we just got rid of 2 videos. Why do we have 2 videos again? Well, what's going to allow us to do this featured video hidden with controls and then a free video without controls after you complete the lesson is this setup right here. The first video is going to have the restricted video controls, and the second video is not. So if I go to my lesson right now and I click play here, I can't click through here. I have no video controls, but on this video, I do have video controls. I can skip around in the video however I want to, but in the top one I can't. So that's where this setup starts to come together. So now that we have a video where I cannot skip around in the controls and a video where I can skip around in the controls, we need to control who sees what. And that's where we were talking about earlier, this conditional logic is going to come into play. So I want this video, if I edit this specific lesson video, I'm going to go to Advanced, Conditional Logic, Open Conditional Logic Settings. And I'm going to say, if the completion status of the current lesson is incomplete, we're going to display this block. And then we're going to do the opposite on the lesson, the video below it. We're going to go to Advanced, Conditional Logic. We're going to say, completion status of the current lesson is complete. So that way, before the lesson is complete, you're going to see the video that does not allow you to have any controls. But once the lesson is complete, you're going to see the version that does allow you to have controls. So this is a 6-second video, so let's go ahead. I have no controls over this right now. There we go. So now I'm going to click the Mark Complete button, and it's going to redirect me to another lesson because it automatically does that. But let's go back. And now that we're back, I have the version that does have controls. So yeah, that's how we can create this setup where we have the featured video that is taking advantage of those advanced videos restrictions. And then after you complete the lesson, we have a video where you can just skip around however you want to. And as I mentioned before, if you're using a template, the same thing would apply in your template because we're using whatever the lesson video is, and we're using whatever the lesson video is, but as a video block. So the same thing would apply for all you template users out there. Yeah, this has been Will Middleton from WPCourseGuide.com. Thanks for joining me in this video, and I'll see you in the next one.